Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, ma'am, clearly.
Good evening, ma'am. Okay. So my class is from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I can many people have joined. But is this the first সবাই কি সব জন?
ম্যাম স্টার্ট করে নিন, কেন কি লাস্ট দুটো ক্লাসে ওরাই করেছিল।
রাখা হচ্ছে। So let me start. As per what I have been allotted, I'm supposed to teach a particular uh, topic which is known as language across curriculum. আমি যেহেতু হট করে মানে একটু আনপ্রিপেয়ার্ড জানতে পেরেছি, আমি একটু জিজ্ঞাসা করেছি এটি কি তোমাদের জেনারেল পেপার না ইংলিশ মেথডের পার্ট? This paper that I'm going to teach, language across curriculum, is it a part of your English method or just
জেনারেল পেপার।
তাহলে তো আমার হ্যাঁ তোমাদের মধ্যে কেউ আছো যে বাংলা বোঝো না নাকি কোন ভাষায় পড়াবো বলো, বাংলা না ইংরেজিতে না পড়াবো?
मैम मुझे हिंदी और इंग्लिश में भी because
What about the rest?
সবাই সবাই জানে না বাংলা, এখানে অনেকেই অবাঙালি আছে আর কি।
তাহলে আমি পরে পরে বুঝতে অসুবিধা হবে, কেউ থাকলে বলো দাদা আমার পথে আমার যে ভাষায় বললে আমি আছে তাহলে আমি পড়াই, বুঝতে পারবে তো?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, as you are very well aware that these are kind of contact programs. Blocks of minutes. And if you have any queries regarding your assignment or need any doubt clarification, you are most welcome to ask. But first of all, before I start teaching, let me ask you, do any one of you have any personal doubt or query regarding this, about any assignment or something? If no, then I will start teaching in my own way. If there is a specific requirement, you want to teach something specific today, or should I teach in my own way?
ম্যাম কিছু বলতে চাই।
We
পড়ানো
can.
সবচেয়ে আপু, পড়ানো সবচেয়ে আপু।
But the tutorial, so it's definitely বাট আমি অভিজ্ঞতায় বলতে পারি যে তোমাদের তো নেটে প্রিভিয়াস ইয়ার্স কোয়েশ্চেন অ্যাভেলেবল, লাস্ট 5খানা কোয়েশ্চেন মোটামুটি স্ক্যান করলে নিজেরাই তোমাদেরকে রিপিট করে, তবে সেইটা মোটামুটি দেখলে তোমাদের অসুবিধা হওয়ার কথা না, ঠিক আছে? অনেকবার
বেশি কম সময় আমরা পাচ্ছি, মানে আমরা হয়তো এক দেড় মাস পাচ্ছি।
কম সময়ের জন্যই তো ভালো বুদ্ধিটা দিলাম, তোমার একদম অথেন্টিক সাজেশনটা লাগে, মানে জাস্ট জাস্ট 5টা কোয়েশ্চেন দেখে দাও, জ্ঞান কোষে বিভিন্ন ওয়েবসাইটে সব দেওয়া থাকে কোয়েশ্চেন পেপার, নাম্বার দিয়ে দিতেই পাবে, সেটা দেখলে নিজেরাই দেখবে যে পরপর রিপিট হচ্ছে কোন টপিক, সেগুলো পড়ে ফেলে যাবে মানে বেশি মানে পড়া হবে সেখানে, that does not really make sense. Okay. So, হ্যাঁ, whatever we are learning to do, language is a specific subject which is to be taught by specific language teachers. This with the open market system, increasingly societal, with the coming of the open market, it was increasingly realized that language really is not confined to or restricted to one or two particular periods. Language teachers will be teaching language. Whatever they are learning, understood. message in the paper, or when they're trying to grasp the concept, they are also very linguistically. So whatever concept building, learning, even in our day-to-day transactions for our daily needs, for survival needs, we basically have to take help of language. So it is kind of, it was realized, increasingly realized, just like it, market will guide the mobility of people from one country to another, from one continent to another continent, became equal. Then it was realized the importance of language for communication, not only for literature, study of literature, but for communication, for business, for trade. Together. Once really important. But who will teach a person language when the person is adult already? So it was realized that the whole education system should be changed. Right from the school years, every child goes to school. So right from the school years, the all the subjects in the school should be taught in such a way that there would be an emphasis even when the teacher is teaching subject that is history पढ़ा है तो history पढ़ाएंगे but while teaching the teacher also have to take care that the students sometimes we say that we are scattered organized to understand it. It's a organization that block UK, which first gave the formal recognition to the concept of linking language across curriculum with the language policy or educational policy of schools. So they published a report. The title of the report was A Language for Life. It said that each school should have an organized policy for language across the curriculum, establishing every teacher's involvement in language and reading development throughout the years of schooling. Now, after 10 years, there was another report, the Swan Report, and the title of the report was Education for All. Again, it also, this report too, it was more emphatic and it asserted that unless there is a school language and learning policy, so it said that on the government level, on the school administrative language across the period. According to with this basic historical background in mind at the top of your mind, you will find that in block one, you have detailed discussion on the connection between language and society. So, how we know that society is not uniform or homogeneous. Strata, we have regional variations, different regions, we have caste, then also economically stronger and weaker section that is in society. There are various layers or various strata. Now, in the first unit, actually discusses in detail how language has language is inextricably intertwined with the social strata system and how, along with the social variation or the social division, language also keeps on varying. On the basis of, let's say, that cultural background. Along with it, language keeps on varying. So they have given on the basis of caste, we have statistical regional variations. And language, say for instance, Hindi. Different accents and states and to be more refined and more similar to Akashvani Kolkata, the way Bengal is pronounced there. Assam or Tripura or you know, there are some Bengali speaking people, but that would be more what Caste, especially in Western countries, even in Southeast Asian countries, you will not find such caste variations. But in India, at least, there is a direct variation on the basis of caste, and these are the dialects different in different parts of India, especially south, where there are different castes are there. There, each and every caste has particular type of dialect or particular type of pronunciation and stress and intonation, and it is not speaking from next generation. Education for all, that is universalization of education. Children have educational facilities, uh, children have right to education act. All the children, irrespective of their caste and creed, they're coming to school and studying together, so they're getting a very fair exposure to language. We have another unit discussing shortly. Very distinct of caste. That caste dialect was supposed to be, which is just a town. So the words they choose, the way they speak, that language is supposed to be reflecting more power, whereas women are socially weaker, considered to be citizen, despite the pretty efforts. Despite the way they speak, their choice of words processing is the way they are this sentences and words, that is also determined by the gender. So these are more or less what society determines the language, because it is important. Why? Now the question is I am study medicine today, going through it actually to see what is there. There I found when I first found this, I found it a bit weird because if it is language across curriculum, if the word curriculum is there, that means it's a strict why do we have to study about that? Because for college education, that is formal education where there is a curriculum. But you see, you have learned in your other papers that school is nothing but a microcosm of society. So, different cultural background. So, I think it's very wrong for us to expect that they will be speaking the same way or they will be kind of words. This sort of sociological background and knowledge of the education would help us to proceed with our language across curriculum or effective language across curriculum. Now, what is the standard dialect? Now, do you have any idea, any one of you, that what do you standard dialect or standard language and difference? What is standard language? It is a textbook that is normally taught to children in school. Okay. That means it is printed. Okay, very good. Actually, yes, it's a good definition. But if you think of the different, but from time to time, people in power have changed. that is in the society, like there are different castes and creed and gender. There are also powerful people and less powerful people, right? So it may be power from on the basis of wealth. It can be political power on the basis of politics or some people are more powerful and the other people are less powerful. So this division has always been there in social hierarchy, and always as these powerful people have always tried to their language, the way they pronounce the standard. Whereas the other variations of Bengali, like I was saying, the Bengali, in Assam, all these are dialects. They are the stages of the standardized language. So whenever, say for instance, in the textbook is written for the school textbook, then naturally it will not be written in a regional dialect, but it will be written in the language of the powerful people. That is the standardized language. Okay. So now this is standardized language, and the other languages which you speak at home on the basis of your locality, region, community, etc. That is known as home language. Now, Hudson, there's a person called Hudson. In 1980, he said that for a dialect to become standard or standardized, there are certain phases. Any dialect will have to pass through these phases to become standardized. What are these phases? First is selection. So, among say 10 dialects or 20 regional dialects, one dialect will be chosen to be made standard. And on what basis will it be chosen? On the basis it can be, it can be political power, basis of that, the one dialect will be chosen, which is going to be standardized. Next is codification, so that dictionaries, then grammar books, text books, everything, everyone will write declaring that particular dialect to be standard. Even in dictionary, the spelling which we standard. All the books, dictionaries, everything will support this. Next is also this is codification. Then is elaboration of function. That is the standard variety will be gradually incorporated into all administrative work like work of central government, scientific document. This particular language is incorporated in function of state of the nation so that it gradually then people will be forced to gradually to accept this as the standard language. So even a Santali boy, or say a boy from or a girl from Midnapur or Bakura, whatever their regional dialect may be, they will have to, when they come to school, text and they're writing the answer in Bangla for Madhyamik or HS, they have to use the standard Bangla. They cannot use it. Okay, so now they have to accept. And we know that the next spelling text we cannot spell. So actually, they have to accept. If they don't accept, if they don't learn, then they so this kind of imposed and the standard language has to be accepted. Next, what your study that is saying is that when we are discussing the social factors of language, we also have to keep in mind a very natural and common thing, personal factors. Now, as I said, I just discussed about the gender, right? So, gender, then there can be people with special needs, there can be um, uh, like a slum person or a street child or a rag picker has their own, they have their own dialect, their own vocabulary, their own expressions actually. They express certain things in a particular way. So This kind of personal variations are there depending on the environment, on heredity, on the immediate environment more, immediate environment, then on gender. We have already discussed on age also. A very little boy or a girl will speak in a different way than a very mature adult person who has had more exposure to the linguistic variety of the adult world. The child doesn't have so much of exposure, so their language will be different from the adult. This is a personal variation. It's very easy to understand. The one word which sounds a new, like a new word that you need to understand is register. We are saying that language also varies due to register. Now, we register because this kind of sounds uh, and after that we have to discuss one language that is more than one language. Okay. So Uh, actually, when we are discussing register, language register or variation due to register, I will explain it in a very simple way. That is, register means something that a language which you can meaning, right? Register is a word or a phrase which formally is used, but that thing is a register. So that can be a formal register or informal register. Now, this I will just explain it in a way. There is a technical term called BICS. BICS, not capital letter. Okay. BICS means basic interpersonal communication skill. BICS. That এখানে যেটা formal informal বলেছে actually they are trying to explain BICS and CALP. CALP, CALP. CALP is cognitive CLP is cognitive linguistic proficiency, cognitive associative linguistic proficiency. So these two language, these two are distinct language. Or in our English community, which is certain dialect or a tone or even pronunciation of certain words, which is not very standardized or not very uniform. Okay. When you are going to school and college, you are writing a particular answer or even talking in school or college, you don't use that form of language. You have to use a bit of refined form of language. The example which is coming to my mind is something from Mughal Bengal. Like I have heard in South 24 Parganas and North 24 Parganas villages, they use the term like aghor. Aghor to say what they mean is that very good. To say very good or excellent, they use the term agcon. That is non-form. That is informal use of language when they are gossiping or maybe talking. You would be seeing cinema যা হয়েছে না পুরো agcon. Like it's a wonderful movie. They say agcon. These same children, when they are coming to school and they're writing an answer or even giving an answer in class, then they will say bhal. They will not use the word alcohol. Do if they write that, the marks will be deducted. So they wouldn't get any marks for that. So there are two types of language. One language which is used for basic interpersonal communication. So a person actually that is a register, register words, sentences, phrases, which we kind of use actually. Because from the moment we are born into a family, in a community, as we grow up, we listen to how our parents are speaking, members are speaking, everyone in the family is speaking. Unlike a piece of sponge dipped in a bowl full of water, we tend to absorb the water. Similarly, we tend to absorb the linguistic practices of our family and community, and we learn to speak. That is basic interpersonal communication. When we talk to our parents, our friends, our family members, we use that language. But if you pick up a very heavy book, academic book, maybe that is also written in Hindi. But the language, the way a definition is written there or an explanation is written there, definitely that is not the Hindi you speak at home. It is more academic in flavor. वो अगर आपको ज्यादा ध्यान लगाकर पढ़ना पढ़ना होता है to understand the meaning. Otherwise जैसे आप ऐसे तो कोई किताब में लिखा नहीं होता. So that means the use of language in academic sphere is different. Language in school and college, to an answer or giving an answer, then what is the different kind of education? Academic formal sector, application, where also you cannot use language or the language of home. Then also you have to use a particular format, a particular style of writing, particular choice of words you have to use. So that is known as CAL. I forgot that at that time I couldn't remember the full form. Now it's coming to me. The full form is cognitive, academic, linguistic proficiency. That is cognitive to be ordered in the brain, academic to be study, and linguistic proficiency. So for studies, for academic purpose, for reading a book or a legal document or writing an application, all these things, for formal needs, you need a different kind of linguistic register or linguistic proficiency. That you can learn, you cannot learn at home. For that, you have to come to any institutionalized form of education, right? So that can be your school, that can be college, this one. Now with this language across curriculum, now we are coming back to language across curriculum. I have given you a brief introduction as to why, what we mean by language across curriculum and how important it is in the international perspective because people have realized that for survival, for jobs, especially in the open market system, as I said in the beginning, you cannot like, stay at your home and there is no guarantee that you can stay at your home for the rest of your life. So for trade, commerce, business, even jobs, people have to migrate. They have to travel from one state to another, from one country to another, also one continent to another. On the TV, you know, so many Indians, so they have gone all the way to so as this situation has become very volatile, and this mobility has increased very fast, we have to be confined by geographical boundaries anymore, which is now professional. So language has become very important, and school language policy has also evolved in this on that line. So now it's really subject the skill of speaking properly, communicating properly, writing properly. All these things are being taught through whatever subject you are teaching. So when it is teaching history, the answer has to be sometimes even children have to be precise. It means all the time you're emphasizing the correct and appropriate use of language, no matter what subject you are teaching. Now, coming to the National Curriculum Framework of 2005, uh, this language has been stressed in National Education Policy 2020 also, but 2020 policy is not there in the study. We have the National Curriculum Framework of 2005, where the role of language in learning has been nicely quoted or stated. There it is written that language is a constellation of skills cuts across school subjects and disciplines. Speech and listening, reading and writing are all generalized skills, and children's mastery over them becomes the key factor affecting success at school. In many situations, all of these skills need to be developed. This is why it is important to view education as a person at school and not as a responsibility of the language teacher alone. So, actually, another thing you can understand this quotation very easily to remember there is a basic difference between English, Bengali, Hindi, and history, maths, social science, whatever. Can there is a difference between language subjects and other subjects? Yes. Can you guess? What is the difference? Non. See, in each and every subject, we call them content subjects. It means you have to understand something, you have to remember something. Say for history, you have to learn about what happened in the past. You have to remember events, isn't it? In geography, whatever subject you are learning, there are content subjects because you are learning new language. But in language, think about it. Be it spoke Bengali. Are you really learning anything new? No. You are just reading some stories, poems, or reading some drama, that's all. But what are you actually learning through all these 10 years of schooling? Okay, so language is not a content subject. There is a basic division. The other subjects are all content subject, and language is actually a skill subject. It is skill education. Any language, be it Bengali, whatever. Any language is actually a combination of four skills. Now tell me what are the four skills? All of you know that, I'm sure. Now don't fall asleep. All of you are so silent. Tell me what are the four skills? No one?
Listening, speaking, writing, and reading.
Excellent, absolutely. So see, what now you will understand what the Indian National Curriculum Framework 2005 has said. It says that if language is it's actually a collection of these four basic skills. Now these skills of reading, writing, listening comprehension, not listening but listening comprehension. मतलब सिर्फ सुनना नहीं है, सुनकर समझना भी है. So सुनकर समझना, listening comprehension and speaking. All these things, Bolna, all these things are essential for any subject to learn. If you learn history, you learn new knowledge fine. But if you can't understand what the teacher is saying, when the teacher is speaking, will you be able to learn history? No. If you don't understand what is written in the book, that means you can't read properly, or even if you don't understand that is reading comprehension is there, then you will be able to learn history and whatever. So, this national curriculum framework is saying that these four skills cannot be the responsibility of the language teacher alone. Because if you make it the responsibility of the language teacher, that means in the whole day, only 40 minutes class, the student will get to develop language skill. And in the other classes, they will naturally try to mug up, they will try to cram whatever is written in the book without understanding a single line of it. That is the problem with most of the students, as we know in the Indian education system. They read the books, but half of them don't understand. So they go to tutors, they ask us to explain, they ask the guardians to explain what is in the book. But they should not ask. It is written in the book. If they read, they should be able to understand what is there. That means they have somewhere they have weakness about language, right? In language. So NCF said that it is a responsibility of each and every teacher. When a geography teacher is teaching a particular text, that geography teacher is using a book and also speaking in a particular language. Hindi में हो, Bengali में हो, जो जिसमें भी हो. The teacher is explaining with the help of language. So that teacher will not teach grammar. Teacher will teach geography only or history only. But when he or she is teaching, the way the answer is written, the words, the way the words, whatever the words are chosen, the phrases and sentences, all this should be very legitimately checked and corrected. And the students speaking, listening comprehension should be tested, speaking should be corrected, reading should be checked every now and then. There's many students in class 8 and 9 who cannot even read properly. So what will they learn from books? They will never get any knowledge if they can't read. So whether they're writing properly, all these things, each and every subject has to check and take care of. Okay. So this is and another thing is there in one of your study mats is content. That is the three language formula. We are coming to that in relation to the language formula. Now, how can another thing I'm not really wasting time in explaining. Another question will come that how can the different teachers help in language development? If you go to the study mat, I think it is sufficient. I've given you some examples. You can also see from the language development. Simple. By asking questions, you will see that there are concept maps and mind maps. Like it's like a flow chart. You write the main points in form of a flow chart and showing the interconnection of the points. That means the student has to read the text. They have to understand the text. Instead of that, they have to make their own. can see now nowadays the school subject to make the students do concept maps. If you buy books like class 8, 9, 10 Soswal or MTG sort of books, question banks, you will see that they already give concept maps in the book. So it is easy to revise from the concept map instead of reading the whole chapter again. So these are the ways, if now you can well understand that if a student has to make a concept map, that means the student should understand the text very well. Otherwise, how will the concept map be made? And then for making the concept map, how to she cannot make it. So then by showing the prefix and suffix in biology, it's different module. This kind of linguistic data is given there. So this is also the way the teachers promote language among but most commonly three questions on environmental class, right? They're making language charts or chapter. So this uh, see actually how many of you have really recently seen the CBC or ICC question patterns or question question pattern change for the school. A special types of questions which are given, not only 5 months or three. What are the new patterns that they are introduced?
This time the
In any
basic one was
subject,
sequence questions which was asked for the semester one exams in ICC. That is what I have seen.
that
So,
is okay.
ma'am,
Now that is mentioned. Now I hope the echo. What I'm trying to say is that, like Shani has seen the question, if you see the question on the available name only, you see that surprisingly, in social science, even in mathematics, they have included something called case-based question. मतलब half a page paragraph they are giving, even with pictures, just like a story. And then even in mathematics, you have to read it. You have to sit in the exam hall and have to read the story, the passage. On the basis of that, they are giving mathematical questions. So, matlab, like in maths, in physics, in chemistry, in biology, they are giving you comprehension. And on the basis of scientific question. Okay. Which is something we thought that comprehension is matter of language paper. Why should we have comprehension in maths paper? That is a very classic example of how language across curriculum is being practiced. Okay, that is one thing. Then in each and every paper they have another okay. Chemistry, it can be from physics, it can be from so they are just statement A and then statement B and coffee. And then tree, but okay, both are true. That is cause and effect relationship. Each subject See why I'm giving you these examples is that in your own country, if you look at the recent examination patterns, you will see that even the board question paper and each and every subject across the curriculum that is okay.
Critical and creative.
Yeah, it's absolutely, absolutely. In each and every subject, it's right. Another thing I missed, I mean, it is there in your study map, but still, since I'm teaching, I talked about dialect, that is a language. Where in social dialect, we also discuss no, they are on the basis of social strata and different social sections. The dialects vary, but there is something called idiolect also. Idiolect is nothing but don't panic or don't be scared by looking at the particular word. Idiolect actually means that the person, I mean, it's personal dialect. Sometimes we have our own personal styles of speaking, no? Some own personal choice of words or phrases and systems. That is not easy. That is when you see this word, you please don't be scared. Register. Sorry, basic interpersonal communication proficiency, that is the informal register, and the CALC, that is formative academic. And uses the other language with proficiency, almost like the mother tongue, almost like the first language. If it is more than one, then bilingual, but if it's more than two, then multilingual. So multilingual. And in today's world, most of us are multilingual because we know our mother tongue, like most of us in West Bengal are Bengali. We mother tongue is Bengali. So we know English also because English is the second language or first language in our school system. And we also know Hindi. Either we learn Hindi, most of us in school, or even if advertisement, English speaking friends. Every language actually of a particular region, it proves of that particular culture. Class, at the tag end of the day, the family is dropping dead almost. I'm saying so. Whatever is to understand, and it's coming fluently, so I'm a little bit more energized and have specifically spoken almost each and every line in both. But what I'm trying to say is that in a multilingual class, if you have multilingual learners, that means you have multicultural influences, so it opens up lots of doors or possibilities of exploring different linguistic patterns as well as their cultural connotations. Now, why do you think this linguistic pattern is important? Now, there is a theory. We are coming to mother tongue theory later. But as far as multilingualism is concerned, first thing is that since they are heavy with cultural connotations, so the students learn to become more tolerant to the cultures, the ways of speaking, and they learn to accept. They learn to. It's not that they will follow it, but they learn to accept. That, okay, my culture, my language thing is more, or it is not the best thing. There are other languages and other cultures. That level of tolerance and acceptance is developed. But what is more important is what I'm talking about is that the language pattern. Let's believe that let me explain this. If you start from zero, okay, if you start from zero, like you from nothing, you don't know any alphabet. Will it be easy or difficult? Tell me, you don't even know the alphabets. Will it be easy to teach you a language, how to, etc.? No, definitely not easy. But suppose you have a basic idea of some alphabets, okay, or some words that is phonetic, like you know what is the sound, like you know guy, okay, or bell. It's a the sound you know already. So if I try to teach you English, if I say ball, see the same sound. Like you like violin in English, it's a ball sound. The sound we like this. Then instead of saying B for ball, we say ball sound. We say here we like in English ball, and in English the same sound we write like this. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have something existing in your mind, some pattern, then it's easy to compare and teach you a new pattern by comparing. फिर एक है यहाँ पर वो चीज हम इससे लिखेंगे. So that's a comparison. Let me give you another simple example. We know that in Bengali we say "Ami bhat khai." Khai is the verb which sits at the end of the sentence, right? You don't know any language, then it will be very difficult for me as a teacher to teach you the language structure. But if you know Bengali at least, suppose you don't know English but you know Bengali, then it was easier for me to compare by saying that same. In only difference is that the verb will sit in the middle. I will not write that I rice eat. I will write I eat rice. Now एक के बाद एक अगर दो सेंटेंस हम कर देंगे ब्लैक बोर्ड पे कि one in Bengali and one in English और सिर्फ ये वर्ब को हाईलाइट कर दे कलर चौक से then it is easy for the child to learn quickly quickly है दोनों भाषा में यही अंतर है कि एक में क्रियापद that is और एक में मिडिल में बैठ रहा है. Thus, this is the difference. So, if the child knows one language and one structure, it is very easy to teach new structures of new languages by simply by comparing and contrasting. But if the child doesn't know anything, then it's very, very difficult. So, it's a positive effect of multilingualism. First positive effect is that it makes the children more tolerant and open to other languages and culture and different uses of language also. Their mind becomes more flexible and more tolerant. And second is that the more the linguistic patterns, multilingual matlab they know Hindi, they know English, they know Bengali. So all these patterns or sentence structures are there in their head. So whenever they will now encounter new language patterns or structures, it is easy to grasp by simply by comparing and contrasting as I just said. No, but there is problem also. Mother tongue, for instance, problem with mother tongue. Problem not with multilingualism, but problem with mother tongue in multilingualism. Now, mother tongue, one thing we can study is that mother tongue is transferable. That is, you can transfer mother tongue. There are two types of transfer. Okay, what do you mean by transfer? Transfer means influence. Mother tongue can influence the learning of another language for bilingualism or for multilingualism. Now, there are two types of transfers. One is a positive transfer, one is a negative transfer. Positive transfer is what we did just now. The structure Abhibhat type. Now that structure is transferred to and while the transfer, each structure हम transfer कर then a slight variation की verb को हम middle में बैठा रहे. So this is actually most of us when we speak English, not all of us, but many of us, many students I have seen that whenever they speak in English, actually they first think in their mother tongue, in Hindi, then they try to translate it and speak it in English, isn't it? So that is a positive transfer, not bad, because they are thinking their thoughts are in Hindi when they are translating in English and speaking. So this is positive transfer. It is actually that knowledge of mother tongue is helping them to speak in a new language. But what is negative transfer? There is also something called negative transfer. That means once a pattern is fixed in your head, sometimes For the fingers of the hand, we say finger. But for the fingers of the feet, we say toes. Right? There are two different words. Now, if the positive transfer phenomena is practiced, if the learner tries to translate it and speak, then there is a tendency that they will make finger, hand, finger. Just like in Bangla, we say hater angul, payer angul, or in Hindi, we say family. We don't say toes and fingers. So other people are translating. People actually try to say head finger, leg finger. So these are some of the problems. Such basic dissimilarities or structural dissimilarities in the negative terms from the upper and the problem at the time because my students don't mix with the effects. Okay. Now, we have also talked of registers. Differences in registers. We will read. This is language across curriculum. And oral and written registers. What are they? Simple oral means colloquial language. Same thing they have written in different languages. Your language, depending on the purpose, will be different from the way you are talking to a friend. So purposes will be different. The academic purpose is different. That I've already talked. Like the big difference between weeks and cal. Now these registers, the differences are not arbitrary. That is what was taught about. We have already discussed. That definitely these are not arbitrary differences. Formal and informal registers definitely depend on the context, the environment, the purpose, where you are. So this is very important. Actually, they have used the term Dixon calc in one of your units. Okay, it was developed by J.J. Cummins in 1979. I have explained it to you already. Go through it. If you have a problem, you discuss and ask me so that I can repeat the explanation in the next class. Just remember, Dix matlab basic interpersonal communication skill. That is a colloquial informal language where there can be regional medicines. Then there can be different terms, like you said, for and all. But like RAR, there can be different types of languages mixed in that. But when it is CAL for cognitive academic linguistic proficiency, then it is a word. In fact, that will not be in your anything what in colloquial language. Like say for instance, you know, yeah, we speak in Bengali also. So, but when we pick up a fact book, academic लेकिन भाषा का इजी नहीं होता है कि जो आपको इंग्लिश स्टडी आती है लेकिन अगर कॉमर्स से का हम किताब याद करें तो द वे इट वाज रिटन जैसे बात करते हैं ऐसे तो लिखा नहीं है सो द एकेडमिक आंसर लिखते थे वहां पर जो घर में जैसे बातें करते हैं ऐसे तो लैंग्वेज so it's a different kind of academic register. So that thing they have taught you difference between academic and everyday language. That is very easy. Academic language is formal, authoritative. Everyday language is then academic in academic sentences actually and what was in simple sentences and then uh, revelation of knowledge whether it's common purpose. Right, like I said, this is like any academic studies passive works, but there is with works. So these differences are there. What is academic is actually explained. They have written paragraphs of which you understand and also have to read it. Uh, exam. We were talking about the what on the basis of that we need to talk about material. On the basis of that we should be aware of The three language formula of India education system, which was first proposed by Kothari Commission and accepted by all the Chief Ministers Council, and then every state implemented it. Three language formula matlab India officially acknowledged the importance of multilingualism. They say that the children have to learn mother tongue. English should be there, mostly as second language, but in some schools, first languages also. And the third language should be there, which is Hindi. In non-Hindi speaking states, you have to learn Hindi. And if it's English speaking state, then how can they take it as a third language? Because that is their mother tongue. So for them, it will be any one. I think any one of the 22 scheduled languages of India. I think the 22 languages, the four scheduled languages, which are established by the Constitution of India. So, the third language for the Hindi speaking world will be any officially recognized languages of India. It is practiced all over India. Okay, so that again endorses the system of multilingualism. Another thing is that we were talking about academic language. So, components of academic language, very simple, four things: vocabulary, syntax, language function, and discourse. The vocabulary actually technical vocabulary. Syntax means structure of sentence. Structure of a sentence we have already said. The sentence will be long, usually long, complex, written in a very formal manner. Language function is informative, that is, it will always try to convey some knowledge and information to you. It will never gossip with you. Academic books are not gossipy in nature or chatty in nature. So some ideas, some phenomena, impact. Okay. So, how academic can be developed? They have not written much. It's just simply saying that when a child is born or when a child is growing up, it does not get exposure to academic language. It gets exposure to books. So, if you talk of human life, first we learn books, and then as we enter schools and colleges, gradually by reading so many books, parents, teachers speak. When, like I'm speaking to you, I'm a teacher. Now, when I'm talking to my husband or my son, or any, let's say, vegetable seller or fish market where I'm talking over there. Naturally, I'm talking in a very informal manner. But when I'm talking to you, I'm giving you a lecture. I'm using a very academic term, an academic 280 words or something. So naturally, as the child gets exposed to this field of knowledge, and listening to the lectures of the teachers, interacting in the formal environment, it is then that the child develops. Okay. So this much they have written for you. So language is the foundation of learning. That is basic reading. Alphabets and words and sentences. In intermediate literacy, that means that they will understand, they will develop comprehension abilities. The basic reading, the basic fluency. Suppose they are learning English. So now you can give them long passages. They will even understand. They will understand the cause and effect. They will be able to write answers on cause and effect and all. And they will be able to develop a basic fluency. Last but not the least is disciplinary literacy. Now that means if you can say Hindi honors. That means disciplinary action. The way you difficult Hindi text. Maybe I cannot read. I will take the help because I can read Hindi text which is I or any other, say any other housewife or any other person who has taken minutes honors. If you give them a worship fast because they enjoy the story. But if you give them like a theoretical or very critical and very heavy academic language, that is any person from Hindi discipline, that physics honors, chemistry honors, or any commerce student, if you give it to them, they will not be able to understand. They will find it very difficult. Same with English. In English also, if I give you a storybook, but if you give me say there is a Bhakti or say the Chakraborty Spivak, something on articles written by them, you will not be able to understand even sentences, you will not be able to understand anything because the language is so difficult. So that is the last level, that is disciplinary literacy. So children, this is very importantly, we have almost touched three levels. So for excellent, I think for the pressure today, if I'm not very wrong, I was on this speech when I saw it. I think I have a class tomorrow also 4 to 5, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So So I have covered more than, I think I've covered three booklets. There are some different gist of that to go through. If you have any questions, there for clarification, you are most welcome to ask. Well, tomorrow I have a different paper, I think, not this paper. So if you have any doubt or clarification, need different. If there is any other class on this subject on this area, definitely I will clarify all your doubts. But I have more or less touched all the books that you have. So I think now it will be easy even after that, if you have any problem, you are most welcome to contact the sir to continue with the story. Okay. You have any questions right now? Otherwise, I leave the class. Why so much silence? I'm scared. Have you all fallen asleep? Huh? Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good night. Go and have your dinner if you have not eaten already.